Okay, good morning. Welcome to Brenton Park, where we're delighted to announce that Ronnie has signed a new 2.5-year contract as manager of Tranmere Rovers Football Club until the summer of 2015. Assistant manager John McMahon, goalkeeping coach Dave Timmons and head physio Greg Blundell have also signed new contracts. Ronnie's done a fantastic job since being appointed in March 2012, and along with his coaching staff has formed a squad of players that went 12 games unbeaten at the start of the season, reached the third round of the FA Cup and have been top of Power League 1 for most of the season. We're now coming to the business end of the season and hope that this announcement will show the club's commitment to our supporters that we do want success at Tranmere Rovers, and especially hope that this season will continue to be a successful one. Press release is available with quotes from our chairman Peter Johnson, and Ronnie's available for questions. Over to you.
When you sat here about 11 months ago, Ronnie, and started out this job again, did you think that you'd be in this position now, accepting a new contract with Tranmere Rovers at the top of the league?
I don't think so, Nick. I don't think anybody would. I think it's been fantastic how things have gone. But you know, there's no magic wand. It's not just me. It's about all the staff that Mick's just mentioned there. You know, every one of them's had a big input into where we are. Not only that, the players, you know, Mick himself and the directors have given me the opportunity to come back. But without the players, then you know we won't be where we are. There's no doubt about that.
Has this been the most rewarding sort of spell that you've had at this club?
Yeah, without doubt. I mean, the great thing is to be back in football. You know, when you have 11 months out, it's a long time. And to be fair, you know, it gives me time to recharge the batteries and think, you know, what have I done wrong to be out of a job, and maybe change or tinker with one or two little things when you get back in. And I'm certainly more mellow now as a manager. You know, I used to be a bit like Fergie with shouting and raving and whatever and nearly having heart attacks. But as you get a little bit older and you think about it, you know, it doesn't need that, because you know, it becomes the norm to people, doesn't it? You know, always got to blow off, here we go. So it's just handling different situations, and I think that's helped with the players, the way I've been with them. But they, you know, each and every one of them has been fantastic. When you look at the size of the squad that we've got, and the budget that we work with, to be where we are has been, it is unbelievable, there's no doubt about that.
Has the character of those players been as important as the ability they've shown?
I think without doubt, that's why, you know, I've said openly, you know, they are like the dirty dozen. You know, we roll our sleeves up and we've got really good players, but we haven't got an abundance of what you would say are top class players. You know, we've got a great spirit, we've got a great understanding, we've got good players. Who at the moment don't know when they're beaten, and we're a threat for anybody. We don't fear anybody at this stage. We played everybody. You know, we are top of the league on merit. I think a lot of people, when we played Swindon, we got beat 5. You know, I think there was a lot out there who thought, well, the bubble's gone now, that's the bubble burst. And to be fair, I think we've won 5 out of 6 since then.
What does it mean to you to have that sort of security of a longer contract and a chance to carry on building?
I think, you know, it's great when people have faith in it, you know, and you know, the chairman, board directors, that, you know, they've had the faith to say, well, go on, you know, you're doing a good job, can we carry it on, and hopefully we can push the club on now. You know, that's the big thing. We don't want to sit still, you never do as a manager. But at this present time, we've won nothing, we've achieved nothing, we're top of the league. You know, what we need to do is stay there. I think 17 games to go. And if we can stay where we are now, then you know it would be an unbelievable achievement for this football club.
Can I ask Mick one then? You've been here for many years now. Is this the most exciting season you can remember here?
It is, for a long, long time. I mean, okay, we can go back to the cup runs, but they're one-offs. This is something, I think, this season that we've done over 29 games, isn't it? And I think proved to everybody who thought that, you know, as Ronnie's just said, that bubble was going to burst, probably even before Swindon. I think some people thought that would happen. It hasn't, and that's all down to Ronnie and his coaching staff.
Can I ask you too what it's done on the sort of on the non-playing side in terms of the gates, because they've sort of bucked the national trend, haven't they?
Yeah, we're one of the few clubs, I think, in the Football League that are showing an increase in gate this season of about 20%, which is fantastic. You know, and hopefully between now and the end of the season, the Wirral public are going to back us even more.
Is there also a quality of the support you're getting? Because I mean, it's been an awful lot of enthusiasm, has very positive support.
It's been a very noisy support this year, I think that's, but you know, it's all about success, isn't it? And we've had a couple of lean years really, and supporters have as well. And so this year, there's been something for them as well. And I think that's proved it, especially away from home.
Can I ask, when Ronnie came back in March, where did you realistically think that you might be at this stage? Where we are now?
No different really to any season where we look for 50 points,
Yeah.
and that's when we celebrate.
Yeah.
You know, that's our League One position guaranteed for next season.
Yeah.
And that was exactly the same. You know, I think we all, back of our minds, think that, you know, probably playoffs. I don't think any of us dreamt that we'd be where we were, but it's fantastic.
I mean, people talk about what Phil Parkinson's achieved at Bradford, but you know, Ronnie kind of, I don't know, must have done a job better than most managers around, you know, to transform things the way he has.
Oh, most definitely, you know, and that's why we sat here this morning with his new contract, thoroughly deserved, because he's done unbelievably well for us.
I mean, it gives you a little bit of security, Ronnie, that 2.5 years. I mean, have you set yourself any targets, what you think you might be able to achieve in that time scale?
No, I mean, we obviously want to be at least in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, because you know what happens now. If we're not in the playoffs, then everybody looks back and thinks what a failure that is, you know, which is at the start of the season. It's ridiculous. So if you're not careful, sometimes you create a monster for yourself, you know, where nobody expects it. And when you are where you are for as long as we have been, and you don't make it, you know, all of a sudden it's failure, which would be wrong, really. But just for you, the way that everybody is in football, you know, the playoffs is the least now that we want. And hopefully, you know, I said 17, but I think 16 is, you know, not far off games. Well, I might have been right with 17, but, you know, it's there's a lot of tough games to come. You know, and there are no easy games at this level. So, but I don't see any reason why the bubble should burst. You know, we've got nobody in that dressing room who's really big time. Yeah. You know, we've got a good bunch of lads, and if anyone steps out of line, you've got Wallace in there and Robbo with the experience that he's got. That you know, like I say, there are no big time Charlies. What we've got is a great bunch of lads with a great team spirit.
You say you're a more mellow manager now. You're enjoying it.
Yeah, I am enjoying it because, you know, like I say, to be out 11 months when you consider where Rotherham were at the time, you know, 5th in the league, you know, 5 points off automatic with 9 games to go. I mean, I don't think that's failure. But when you're out, you're out. There's no doubt about that in football. You know, nobody wants to talk to you, and nobody. To be fair, yeah, you have people who phone or whatever, but no one invites you in to go and do a little bit of training, because I think everybody's fearful. Football must be one of the worst jobs in the world, because, you know, I'm not going to bring Ronnie Moore in here. Just if he comes in and we start doing well, people are going to think blah blah. So eventually you're on your own. You know, and like I've said, I mean, I got fed up of hanging, washing out and going to shops and watching games and working for the BBC, doing the stats and all that. That was fantastic. I enjoyed that. That was the best part of it. But the other part, you know, like I say, you're a stranger. And I think I've mentioned it before. I think it was about 19 or 20 quid my phone bill when I was out of work for a month. I come back to work here, it was £250 odd. So it shows you the difference of love and hate, if you like, you know, when people want to talk to you.